Welcome to this new add-on spotlight. In this add-on spotlight we're gonna look at two community builds, and one of them is for the Rotterdam harbor, and you can already see the massive improvements which are made to the Maasvlakte, which is one of the harbors of Rotterdam, right, which is, I would say, pretty close to the North Sea. The thing is that you need to install several prerequisites. One of them is the vessels package, which is currently in version 2 beta. So keep it in mind, but if you don't add it, you won't see all those nice ships as you can currently see on the river. The other thing is that you need to install the Barcelona water cleanup, and as well as the France VFR package, and that will allow you to add a lot of things. And there's a third one, which is the let me figure out the name because I forgot the name, because were so many packages. The last one was the some Pedro Bay facilities from Los Angeles. That's also a community build, and so you can install everything for free, right? Just go to Flight Sim 2 and then download everything. Besides this one, I'd say it's strongly recommended to install the Rotterdam package, right? So while we're flying over this part, and let me go outside, it could be that my voice is, I would say, could not be heard clear enough anymore because of the massive sound of the F-18. So here you can see all the improvements also from this level, right? So you can see a lot of, let's say, factories, a lot of tanks which have been added as part of this add-on. You can see that it still loads stuff, so it's puts a heavier load on your graphic card, so be aware of that. And also what you need to keep in mind is that the let's say installation itself requires a significant amount of disk space, especially for the let's say boats which are being added as part of the vessel package. So that's something you need to be aware of. Here you can see all the details, right? It looks pretty nice. Also some large vessels over here. So let me reset the view and let me turn the other way, so you can also have a look at that end. I can see also ships on the river, a lot, right? If we will follow this river, right, if you would do it yourself also, you will end up in a Rotterdam city center. So that's also what, or I would say, direction is, as you can see. So let me go once more outside, because that gives a much cooler view, as you can see. You can see a lot of, I would say, large vessels, right, in the harbors. When flying over it, you can see that the tanks are still building up. So I do expect that, I would say, if you have a heavier graphic card, it will work better compared to the one I'm having. I can also see some other people flying around. We're now entering the area where you see the, I would say, this is where all the big oil companies are located, right? ExxonMobil, Shell, etc. You can see that below us. And those buildings are, I would say, pretty realistic. I do think, however, that it might be better to remove some of the tank objects, because it's, yeah, you can see that it does not load, I would say, as fast as normally, right? So currently we're bypassing the, let's say, the Shell stages, so the Shell refinery, etc., and then we're ending up in the say city center itself. And the city center itself already got some point of interest, right? It was the Erasmus Bridge, which received an let's say point of interest as part of one of the world updates. But you can see that now with this, I would say, nice add-on. I should move the camera in the correct position. You can see that there are some more details, right? It's not only the bridge, which has been, I would say, adjusted, but also the rest of the city center, which received some nice updates. So we will try to, say, fly over it a little bit lower. So keep in mind that this update, or this, let's say, this part is a different add-on. So you would need to install at least, let me count, 5 or 6 add-ons to benefit from all these nice things, right? So that's cool. So we're gonna decrease the altitude, right? Because we're flying at 6,000 and we're going down pretty fast. As you can see over here, right, we're decreasing the altitude really fast. This is the current speed, so we're also going to decrease the speed a bit. But be careful with that, because decreasing the speed, if you don't have enough speed in this F-18, you will crash into the ground, and that's something we don't want to do, of course. If you are, say, familiar in this region, you might also want to have a look at several other add-ons which have been uploaded to Flight Simulator 2. For example, one of the bridges, one of the soccer stadia, right, for the soccer club Feyenoord. So have a look at that. Also the large bridge which connects this, I would say, the southern part and northern part. Already bypassed it, but normally it's, say, located probably below us, because we're flying over it. So we're gonna make the tour back to the city center, keeping an eye on our altitude, of course, and then also keeping an eye on the speed. So we're gonna do I would say, a lower flyover. I'm gonna reset the view and also go to the external view. Right, so this bridge which you currently see in front of us is not realistic. There's a more realistic model within Flight Simulator, or within Flight Simulator 2. In Flight Simulator 2 you can find a download which makes it even more realistic. The soccer club is, I would say, pretty realistic as far as I can check. But there's also a separate download for that on Flight Simulator 2. So here you will see the river, right? It's the Maas. That, I would say, will go to the city center, and also some large buildings. This bridge, which you currently see, right, one on that end, that was a lot in the news due to, I'd say, ship of one of the billionaires which want to move his ship, and then they needed to, I'd say, break the bridge and then pause with the boat and then build the bridge again. Here you can see a nice cruise ship. Here's the Eiffel, no, not the Eiffel Tower, the Euromast, but this one is definitely not realistic. It has been mixed up with some other add-on, as it looks like. So that could also be the case, right? So if you're trying this add-on, it could be that it's, I would say, conflicting with another add-on which you already might have installed, because this one doesn't look realistic at all. Good thing is that there's also an airport pretty close to the city, right? It's Rotterdam The Hague Airport, which has been updated also as part of one of those world updates, and that one looked realistic. So currently we're flying over the other part of the city where you will find the central rail station and the zoo. And the zoo, we just bypassed it, can't view it anymore. But below us is the rail station and some large office buildings and a large hotel, which you can see over here. Some other nice buildings. Now let's move back to the, I'd say, normal position, and then move back or fly back to the harbor, because the harbor also contains some other interesting stuff. Let's see if they have added that. You can see that it's already, I would say, the sun goes down, right? So it becomes darker and darker, but it looks, I would say, pretty cool. So here we go again. We're gonna fly a little bit lower, right? Because we did it the first time, I would say, on a pretty high level. Here we can also see the harbors, right? You can see all kind of cranes have been added, and that was not part of the normal release. So if you want to add some more realism to Flight Simulator, and especially in the Rotterdam region, then you probably want to install, I would say, all these add-ons, although it will cost you a lot of, I would say, disk space. But I would definitely, I would say, have a look at it. So we're back at the large oil refineries, is it? There are some more bridges in this area, but I would say those bridges haven't been modeled. There's one on the left currently, and there's also another one popping up in the window, right? It's so there's one over here, another one is over here. They haven't been modeled yet, but I do expect that it's just a matter of time before that's being picked up by someone. can see that the F-18 flies pretty nicely, right? Not too fast. It's kind of cloudy, as you can see, and some other aircrafts are higher in the air. So let's go outside once more, and then I would say have a closer view. You can see that the channel is separated into 2 separate ones, right? So you can see both are directly connected to the North Sea. And some really large vessels, including some helipads. So that's the challenge for you, is to try this one and then try to land with a helicopter. You'll see some fire there, which makes it even more realistic. A lot of windmills. And then we will fly over the Maasvlakte and the second Maasvlakte, right, which are the industry parts. That's where the harbor is being extended. And this is also where you will find one of the point of interests, right, so keep that in mind. So a lot of vessels here, and the Maasvlakte light, which is the point of interest. So we're back at the starting point, and you can see, I would say, even if you look at the tanks themselves, right, and at the cranes, they are really high detail. You can see all the, I would say, ships which are being loaded with all the containers ready for transport. That's really cool to see. So here ends this video with a nice view of the sun going down. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you've got questions or comments, then feel free to post them in the comment box below. And if you want to stay up to date about videos I'm posting, then make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.